When I came up from beach, there was a gentleman up on the boardwalk, and he goes, "Yeah, you didn't catch anything today, did you?" And I said, "No, actually, I did all right, considering the conditions." And he's like, "Wow, God bless you. I would never would have thought that there was fish out there today." And I'm like, follow my channel, God damn it. Yeah, there's fish out there, man. It's the ocean. There's fish. You just got to find them. Got to know what to use. You got to go a little heavy on days like today. You got to go a little light on days like 2 days ago. Just want to show everybody. There's fish. It's the ocean. There's always fish there. Subscribe, damn it. All right. Conditions basically suck. Those waves are very large. That's got to be at least an 8-foot wave. But, wow, they are big. They're crashing on that bar. And they're kind of leveling out here. So there is a chance that I could find some fluke in this trough. But wow, what a difference. So I'm going to try to work this trough a little bit for fluke. You can see how the water's, this is a big like slope here, and that water's coming up the slope. So when you try to land a fish, you're only gonna be able to get him coming up the slope, because as soon as that water starts working its way down, that's gonna put a lot of pressure on that fish, and it's probably gonna pop off. So today's gonna be a little difficult. We'll see how we do. My problem is I want to cast a little. Oh, holy crap! Look at that. All right, so the wind is gonna mess with me today. I got the east wind right now. It's actually east, southeast. And I want to cast a little bit, but you know, it's only a 1/2 ounce bucktail. And the ocean's so powerful, it's coming up so far. Usually I'd stand down there and cast, so today's gonna be tough. Oh, yeah, unless they're turned on. All right, now I got one on, and he's right at the lip, so I gotta wait for this wave to bring him up. And he popped off. But okay, we got one already. See if we can find some more. Man, that thing didn't even have time to hit the bottom. That wave just brought it right in. I'll probably have to time my casts and just send like a dart in there to try to cut the wind. I don't want to give it too much arc. I'm still on a 1/2 ounce. Should probably upgrade to a 3/4 or a 1 ounce today, but they are in my truck. I might have a 3/4 in my bag though. Let me see what I got. A little bit extra weight would probably help right now. I had to switch some things up here. So I tied on this doohickey. What is it? A GI Jigs rain minnow. It's a 1 ounce. So I'm hoping it'll kind of cut through the wind, because that southeast is pretty stout. So I'm just going to try to work this for a little bit, because I would normally tie up a chicken rig now, which basically is just a 1 ounce sinker and a dropper loop for my bait, but I left all my sinkers in my truck along with the SP or the hydro minnow I said I was going to take. Okay. So I have this, and hopefully I don't get bit off by like a bluefish or something. All right, not a bad fish at all. That's a nice fish. That is every bit of 17. He is barely hooked. That is a nice fish. I would measure him, but I know he's not 18, so. Come on. Go ahead. God damn. Conditions are wild today. All right, so that's gonna work out for me, hopefully. These things are on the chew. They know a storm is coming. So when you're fishing this kind of weather, you know, it's important. Line management is pretty important because the wind's going to take my line. You know, you might want to try to keep the line down a little bit and just keep your tension. Don't get a lot of slack today in this kind of weather. I can feel it roll right up that beach lip, and I know it's toast. You'll feel the beach lip just kind of, it's like stones, you know, so you'll feel that vibration in the line. And even though you can't see, you know, I really can't even see my line, let alone my where everything is, so you kind of just go by feel. And when you feel your bait roll over those stones, man, not getting good casts today for sure. Another bite though. Yeah, not getting much out of these casts, you know. They're short because of the wind, and then the current between wanting to push it in and wanting to push it left. You don't get a lot of time with your cast, so not much you can do. Even at 1 ounce, it's really not holding very well, and I'm not going higher than 1 ounce for sure. Oh. So, you know, I'm working this thing normal. The way look at that. Sucker for the pink and pearl, ain't he? I know. These hooks that come on this jig don't have those little bait holder barbs, so you just got to make sure you thread it right up to the top of the hook, and just that tension between the hook and there, that little thing, and there kind of keeps it together instead of letting it slide down. All right, I'm going to work this a little slower because the current's ripping it so hard. I'm just going to pop it a couple times and keep reeling in my slack. Real gentle. Look at that. These waves are big, man. There we go. All right, you really got to focus when you're trying to bring this in. There's a nice wave there, so I'll try to work them with the wave and then rip them in, because once that wave switches, it's going to want to pull them down. And there's a lot of tension. Man, these are decent fish today. I guess only the strong ones are surviving in this chop. Nice fish. Yeah, as you can see, once that water goes down, that's gonna like really put a lot of pressure on the fish, so it's probably gonna pop off. Got me again, man. Hey, I wasn't really expecting to get very much today, so if I lose a couple of these things and catch some fish, that's good. So yesterday, I had really high hopes for yesterday. I filmed for 4 hours yesterday, trying to go for triggerfish. I was fishing rocks on a jetty, and man, for 4 hours, all I caught was those micro black sea bass, micro puffer fish, spot, croaker. I did not get triggerfish. I didn't get blackfish or tautog. I just was pestered by little fish, and it's just not worthy of making a video. So if I could get on them today and have a decent video, well, I mean, I really don't care that much about video. I'm not in it for the video, but you know, I like catching fish, period. At least some with some size, instead of these like, you know, this big. The sea bass is tiny, and as soon as the bait hit the water, they're just like ripping it right off the hook, you know. Plus I was fishing with bait, like actual bait, fresh bait, and I hate that. I'm an artificial guy through and through, with fluke, with bass. I'm not a big bait guy. Okay. And he's gone. I'm trying to cast to the right, and what I want to do there is let my lure flow with the current and give myself time. So, you know, if I just cast straight, by the time the current brings around this way, my lure is coming in the opposite way of the current, and it doesn't look natural. The problem is when my line goes out this way, basically when your line is perpendicular, no, sorry, when your line is parallel to the beach, the waves are coming this way, and they can really grab a lot of that line, and it just pulls the line in, and it makes it, you can't work it because your line has so much slack in it. So I'm trying my best to cast perpendicular to the beach, straight, because I'm gonna have less time in the water with a cast, but I'll have more control over it. So normally I would cast right up current, but I really can't here. So I'm just gonna try to make every cast count and really work. Wow, look at all this slack. Really work as much as I can before it's toast, and you got to just reel it in anyway. Well, I just caught a fish and my camera was off, so that's good. I'm really not used to this whole YouTube thing yet. hate losing fish. Man, I hate it. All right, so I've caught like 3 fish here. So do yourself a favor when you're on, especially in conditions like this where like you can't see really what you're fishing trough wise or structure. You don't really know what you're doing. Just basically walking on the beach until you find them. Turn around, look at the shore, and get yourself a landmark. Normally I would just draw a line in the sand, but the surf is so big that the line would be like, you know, 150 feet up the sand. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to turn around and get a landmark. In this case, I'm right behind an American flag. So I know if I get a little off course, because I do, a lot of times I'll shuffle, or, you know, like when I catch a fish, I'll walk with it till I can bring it up. You want to get back into your same spot. Ooh, there's a whale out there. That's cool. I don't know a whole lot of fluke fishermen that are out here in a storm like this, so give me some credit, man. Hit subscribe. Most people would go to bass with this kind of water, but it is so warm that I'm like, I mean, yeah, they might be in here. There's probably a pretty good chance there's bass, but I'm still on Fluke. Fluke ends September 28th, and I'm on Fluke unless I see like false albacore or Spanish mackerel or, you know, something else really cool. I'll be on Fluke until the water temperature drops. There'll be plenty of time for bass. You have, you know, October, November, December, 3 full months of good bass fishing. I like to soak up the Fluke while I can. I'm gonna call that a success. So we're dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Ernesto that is whacking Bermuda today, and the ocean's really kicked up. It was pretty decent yesterday, but it's really kicked up. But we managed to find like, I don't know, 6 fluke or something like that in an hour and 15 minutes during like the effects of an offshore hurricane. So that's really cool. I'm very happy with it. I wish they were keepers, but they weren't. And yeah, so this storm is going to change all the spots that I worked this week. The ocean's always changing. So there's no like honey hole, there's no like spot to go to. You just have to wait until this storm passes, find the structure that it has either created or covered up, and find a new spot to work. And you'll probably be able to work those spots until the next storm. So there's all the spots that I went to before. Probably Monday morning at low tide, I'll go out and reassess everything and see what everything's looking like and hit probably all new spots. And hopefully, you know, it's late season. It's been a really tough fluke season, like really tough. In the beginning, up to the beginning of July, it was great. We had a 10-day south wind blow, and it really just affected the fishing quite a bit. So this storm is going to switch it around for us, and we're going to just catch monsters starting on Monday. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Just subscribe. Driving through New Jersey. Subscribe, please. Thank you.